It's a pleasure to have you on here, man. I've been wanting to do this for a while. This has kind of been in the works for a while, and it's nice to have, first of all, someone who shares my namesake, but also someone who's kind of, sort of, in a weird way, sort of related. We're kind of related, right? We figured that out not too long ago.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I mean,
Yeah,
considering, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
sometimes it's amazing how the coaching network, know this guy, know that guy, but it's actually our wives, our better halves, who are the relation. So,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Well, no doubt. Well, we got a lot of good stuff to get to tonight. And this is our first Zoom/podcast, and we're going to be talking Type Front and just some of the stuff that you guys are doing there at Princeton, and that you've done in the past at other stops that you've made, Norman North and other places. But let's start first. What we usually do is just talking about background. So just talk about your background with football. I know that you were born with a football in your hand, and your dad and uncle are coaches, and that's always been in your blood. So just talk about that a little bit.
yeah, I'm it goes back further than that. On my mom's side, I'm a fourth generation educator. On my dad's side, I'm a third generation educator. But my dad, Andy, I'm a coach kid, and wouldn't trade the world for it. I thought I was the coolest kid in town when I was in third and fourth grade, wearing the same stuff the high school team was wearing. So
Yeah.
Something special about being a coach kid. And going to clinics with dad when I was 10, 12, 14 years old, and I remember going to the All-State game with him and riding the yellow dog with him and being the ball boy on the sidelines. And
Yeah.
I could go, this whole podcast could be devoted on being a coach kid. But being a coach kid it's a positive and a negative. Positive, everybody knows you. The negative is everybody knows you. But I originally born and raised Oklahoma. Grew up in a small town of 1,000 people, Conway, Oklahoma, and you got to be going there. It's a Class A school, really in the middle of nowhere. Went to elementary school there. Moved to a place called Ada, Oklahoma. I'm familiar with Ada high school football, pretty elite. 19 state championships. Now, I didn't win one, but played in semis twice as a freshman and junior. From there, played football, ran track, played baseball, and graduated. Played Division II ball at East Central. Just right there in Ada, at Central University. In the Lone Star Conference, obviously before they split and went to the GAC, but played against Texas A&M Kingsville and Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian at the time had a guy named Johnny Knox, if you're familiar with that name.
Oh yeah.
So he's made a few dollars in the league. In West Texas and Texas A&M Commerce. I mean, it was an unbelievable league. And that's things like kind of tell you how I got in my GA years, but guys who go and play Division II ball, don't turn your nose up at it. And that's the deal. As coaches, we know that.
Yeah.
But you played against guys that were in the league or maybe still are in the league.
Yeah.
And I saw the sunrise over Dallas, Texas twice. We went down to Kingsville twice, and it didn't work out real well both times. And saw the sun come up, and you're still 3 hours from home going.
Yeah.
And we played. We played Sam Houston State. They were obviously D1 AA, but we played Sam Houston State one year and played Rhett Bomar. I think he set the NCAA record for passing that night. But so anyway, I go on and on about that. But played East Central. From there, graduated. Was kind of looking for a job, and graduated actually in December. Was looking for a job and found myself in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, a place called Henderson State University as a GA, as defensive GA. I was 23 years old and single and trying to find my way as a coach kid. I mean, never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would whether you're GA or whatever, I was coaching college. I was working for a Division II program.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was really away from home. Like I said, growing up, being a coach kid, mom and dad, both married, had a roof over my head, shirt on my back, $20 bill in my pocket. I didn't want for anything. I was very lucky, very, very blessed to be around the game, be around parents that taught me right from wrong. This was really the first time I was ever away from home was when I went to Henderson. And for 6 months, I was living in the office. That was my address. I had a cot that I put up for 6 months in my office. Now, the good news is I had an office, and the good news is I had a meal card. So I was crushing the cafeteria. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But that was the deal, and we were trying that transition from when they were in the Gulf South to the GAC, the Great American. So we were still playing West Georgia. We were playing Delta State,
Valdosta,
Valdosta,
North
yeah,
Alabama.
yeah, and playing some good dudes, and small world. Ron Roberts is now DC at Baylor. He was the head coach at Delta State. And, they were doing stuff in 2011 defensively that we mind blowing,
Yeah.
And so
They were 3-3 stacked then, right? Weren't they still 3-3 stacked? Yeah.
They were 3-3 stacked at the time in 11. And God, they had some dudes. My goodness, they had some dudes. But they were also doing some stuff defensively. Kind of the onset of the creepers. People talking about the creepers. And it's kind of the beginning of it was, I saw it back then going, what, you're watching film going, what is this?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I was at Henderson for, 18 months. I was trying to fast track, get my master's done, get out, GA, you're making $500 a month, hindsight's 2020. I've got a great family, love my wife, love my kid, love my house, love where I'm at. But hindsight's 2020. I probably shouldn't have gone as fast as I did, and influences that I had at that place, and the mentorship and leadership that Coach Maxfield, he was like a second dad to me. Like I said, I know we're going to get into ball, and I hope you're not getting bored with this, but I'm telling you, Coach Maxfield was like a second dad to me. He took care of me. GA making $500 a month. He took care of me. I slept on his couch a few nights. His wife is like a second mom to me. And he was rough on me. it was tough love. Don't get me wrong. He'd shoot my butt a lot of times when the huddle wasn't right, or the film, or the whatever wasn't right. But it made me a better man, made me a better coach.
Yeah. Yeah. But you talked about him being an influence. Who are some other influences? I'm sure you had a bunch of them, obviously, with your dad. I know your uncle was a coach, and just who are some other guys who influenced you along the way?
Yeah, again, talk about my dad and my uncle. Coach Maxfield, the guy that was our offense coordinator there, a guy named Mike Vilarovich. He's currently the head coach at Nashville, Arkansas. And Mike is an unbelievable football mind. Great dude.
Scorched the earth offense, right? And
yeah. And when I was at Henderson, we were air raid. We were scorched earth, throwing it 80-20. Yeah. We were all over the place. And so he was a big influence to me offensively. A guy that I played for at Central, a guy named Kurt Nichols. Kurt Nichols, actually, they were best friends in high school. Kurt Nichols and Scott Maxfield went to high school together. And so that's how I got to Henderson. And then from there, went to Broken Arrow in 2012. And my name, Steve Spavital. Coach Spavital hired me as a young 23, 24-year-old young coach, fresh out of, let's call it college, and Coach Spavital hired me to coach safeties at Broken Arrow. And Adam Gaylor, Adam was the best man in our wedding. He's our defense coordinator. Steve Dunn, who's now the AD, he coached our special teams. He's now the AD at Broken Arrow. Jay Wilkinson, he was the OC, still is the OC at Broken Arrow. Those guys were in my wedding. Steve Dunn, Jay Wilkinson, Adam Gaylor, those are some of my best friends in the world. And I'd do anything in the world for them, and they would do the same for me. I left Broken Arrow, got married, and a guy named Brad Ballard gave me my first coordinator job at 25 years old. You talk about throwing darts at a dartboard, hoping it sticks. And you talk about feet to the fire. My first call ever, 25 years old or 6, whatever. I'm young. First call, and we stall out on offense. We punt, but we pin them on the 1 yard line. They got 99 yards to go. So of course I bring the house.
Yeah.
They go 7-man pro, go 1-on-1, 99 yards later, one play, it's 7-0. That was and I'm serious. That's no lie. That is the gospel. That was my first ever defensive call. And of course you get excited. You're minus 1 yard line. You're bringing everybody and the cheerleader. So, and then a guy named Brent Barnes. He hired me at Norman North. Brent's down in Arizona. Brent's one of my really good friends. and then Coach Surratt. Coach Surratt, when we connected and got together this, I guess in the April of 2019, it just kind of, you interview and you just kind of feel good. You feel good about it. You feel good about the relationship you've built in the interview process. And Coach Surratt could have picked anybody from Texas, state of Texas, from the DFW Metroplex. I mean, and for whatever reason, bless his heart, he picked this guy. And so I'm still learning from him every day. We got to get better. We got to do some things better. But being around him every day is a learning experience. It's a blessing. It's an honor. So influences, man, I go on and on and on. But
yeah.
My biggest one, my dad, obviously, being a coach kid, nothing like it.
Last question I'll ask you on this, and then we'll get into the football stuff. So you're a coach's kid, and you have a son yourself. I have 2 young boys. You've probably seen before where you have kids come up as coaches' kids, and they end up just like you, loving football, and that's all they want to do, and they just want to be around it. And then you have some who kind of go the other way, and they don't want anything to do with it. So, like, what did your dad do? How did he kind of kindle that love for the game in you and not make it where it's something you resented?
Yeah, my dad never pushed me on it. He never made me want to, love this, love that. And I'll be honest with you, I was 12, 14 years old. Deep down in my gut, if you put the true serum in me, just because the kid in me, I know deep down he wanted me to push into track, into football, into athletics, into competition. I mean, I was playing t-ball when I was 5 years old. Just like a whole lot of other coach kids do. But, my dad would always tell me, he goes, do what makes you happy, do what you want to do in your life. And I didn't want to do anything else. I mean, the field house is what I knew. The weight room is what I knew. Being in the film room, riding the yellow dog was what I knew. And so for my son, currently he's, 16 months old. Who knows what his future holds? Yeah, I'd be lying to say it. I want him to be involved in athletics. I want him to run fast, jump high, score the touchdown, hit the game-winning shot, all that other. But that's the competitive part in me, but also the dad part in me. I want my son to wake up and enjoy what he does every day.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. And I know it's a long ways away. My kid's not even 2 years old yet, but it's as I look at him and I bring him to the office. Oh my gosh, all the time. I tweeted out a picture a couple weeks ago of he pulled up a chair and we were in the office watching film. He pulled up a chair and turned the chair around so he could stand up in it and watch the projector. So if you look at my Twitter, you'll see that. And it was like we stopped the film for like 10 seconds, so I kind of had to excuse myself and cry for a little bit. But so anyway,
that's awesome.
That's kind of my spiel on that.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the film and while you're pulling that stuff up, you can kind of talk to this. I know this is one of your slides, so I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but while you're pulling that up, just talk about what the scheme you guys are running. It's a 3-4, but you were a 4-3 guy for a long time and you made a transition. So, what brought that on and why you believe in the 3-4 and what you guys are doing.
Sure.
And so that's part of your screen. So
so first I'll start there. There's my, my Twitter, my all that stuff, my contact information.
And guys listening to this, just the audio, I'll share his Coach Gower's contact info in the show notes of this episode, so you can get that also.
Yeah, I mean, I have to remember that. Some of this is all podcast stuff. My Twitter, guys, is @Coach Gower, all one word, @Coach Gower. Again, Ty can share you my contact stuff. I'm the defense coordinator at Princeton, Texas. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the why. Why did we go to a 3-4? When I grew up, When I was at Henderson, we were 4 down. We were 4-3 playing too high structure, too high coverage. Went to Broken Arrow, same deal. We were 4-3 with a lot of back in the day, Stoops, Venables, Pelini influence. Some overpowered Tampa stuff. Playing a lot of overfront, underfront, fire zone from the field. So we were 4 down. Obviously we did some really cool stand-up stuff and neat stuff and sharing the back on 3rd down. But when we were first taken down, it was 4 down front. It was 5 shade, 3-5, right? And so what we found in our 4 down days was having to always auto back set, auto formation, and so we were always having to cancel a gap somewhere or somehow. That's the deal. You get guys who are 21, 22, bring a tight end, all about over or under front, but you get those guys who spread you out in 2x2 or trips or whatever. You got to apex that guy down, and I'm a big proponent of covering down 3. I want to play 4 over 3 somehow, with that corner, the Sam, the Mike, and the Strong. I want to play 4 over 3. I'm not one that is going to, people say foot on the tackle with the Mike, play at 50, but number 3 is like 6 yards away. I don't want to give that offense coordinator, hey, we'll just throw a stick to 3 right now. I say RPO, like we'll pre-snap it right here. We'll pre-snap it, and if 3's open, run a 5-yard hitch and throw it to him. And so what we were having to do with that is auto how to cancel the A gap. Because like if you're trips plus or whatever, you got a 5 and a 3 strong, and you got an A gap strong and a B gap weak, how are you going to defend it? You want the will to be the A gap and the free safety to be the B gap. And you can do like if you're playing special or lock or stubby or whatever, absolutely you can do like use the free safety in the B gap. If you're not stunting it, you're not moving it, you're not blitzing it, you're not doing anything to cancel the gap, right? But if you're playing base defense, you got to find a way to cancel the bubbles.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the deal. You play a 5 or 3, shade and 5, you got 2 bubbles, right? You got a bubble between the shade and 3, you got a bubble between the shade and 5. And so that was one of the deals as to why we went to a 3 down from a 4 down, excuse me. Another one, and I made this, I've spoken at clinics, at Glazier and all over the country. I've been blessed to do that. But why did I go to 3-4? And I'll be honest, we'll talk about Adam Gaylor, being a big influence, and TK, you've had Tyler Cade on this podcast. TK, guys, you want a D-line coach, unbelievable. He was a GA at OU for Brent Venables. TK is an unbelievable man, an unbelievable football coach. And so, talking about influences, we went to the 3-4 because of lots of reasons. I'm going to give you some of these. And when I went to Norman North in 16, I'd got, Ab and I were together, and I'd kind of went somewhere and he went another place, and we had kind of sold out. And I say we, he kind of took the lead on it, and I kind of followed him. It's kind of what you do with your influences and your mentors, right? And so when I went to North in 16, we sold out to playing 4-eye, 0-4-eye. What we call Okie. I know people call it tied or whatever. We call it Okie. So we're playing 4-eye, 0-4-eye. So what we prepared for each week. If you're on the audio, when I was in Oklahoma, we were the 6A large classification in Oklahoma. We were about the 8th, 9th biggest school in Oklahoma. Playing Jinx, Broken Arrow, Owasso, Union, and what we were seeing every week was 10, 11, 20, empty, and I didn't really lose sleep over run fits. People kind of ran the same stuff, but it was, how are we going to cover up the guy going to OU? How are we going to cover up the guy going to OSU? We played Tulsa Union in 2016 twice. The first time we beat them, second time we go state championship, and they beat us, but they had a guy going to OU, a lineman going to Arkansas, a receiver going to OSU, and a back going to Tulsa. Talk about a long night. And so we had to find a way to play both 3 down and 4 down. But the guys that we saw are 10, 11, 20 empty, 1 back run game, RPO. We need a way to bracket that X. Find a way to play drop 8 at times. That's another thing is like math. And I'm a soul studies guy, but math, like, here's the thing, like if you're in 4 down, you rush 4 and they keep 6 in protection, that math didn't add up to me. For me, like we're a drop 8 defense. We are a rush 3 drop 8. And I know some of you guys on here listening to this may say that's the stupidest thing ever. But for us, I want to be +1 everywhere in the pass game. Right now, I know we'll bring 5, we'll bring 6, we'll bring 7, play 0. I get it. Okay. But, I'll show you the box. Like, we can't get any better from the box, and we're playing 2x2. Like we're always going to have a cover down somewhere. And so I'm an old 4-3 guy converted to a 4-0-4 or 4-eye, 0-4-eye. Every week I talked about this. How are we going to cancel that gap to that formation, that back set? And we had to auto a bunch of stuff. When they come out and this set, we got to auto. We got to pirate the front here. 3 to the A, the 5 to the B. Make the ball spill. Okay, or they flop the back on us. Now we've got to blood the front. We've got to send the 3 to the A and the shade to the B. So we've got to do things that you've got to really teach and rep throughout the week about how you're going to cancel gaps in the 4 down. So that's why we went to a 4-0-4, a 4-I 0-4-I, is there's 90 bubbles. There are no bubbles from the tackle to tackle. You're playing 4-I 0-4-I, okay. There's no bubble versus you're playing 5 shade 3-5. There's 2 bubbles.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And that leads me to dart is greater than power. Okay. And what do you mean by that? For us, what I classify as dart, tackle wrap, right? 1 back tackle wrap. And against a 404, 4-I 0-4-I, so many teams want an advantage call it. What we call advantage, where the guard blocks out on the 4-I and the tackle wraps. Well, what happens on the front side? The other tackle blocks down the 4-I with the B gaps closed. The tackle, the backside, the wrap tackle wraps all the way to the C gap, right? Yep. Whereas if you run power, one back guard wrap, whatever you want to call it, okay, how are you going to block? You're going to try to scoop that 4-I all night. If you can do that, I will tip my hat to you, shake your hand after the game and say you win. But if you feel good all night on Sunday and you're drawing on the board on Sunday and you can scoop and block that 4-I with the tackle, then we got to do some other stuff, or your tackle's really, really good.
Yeah.
And so for me, I want one more offensive lineman having to pull all the way to the C gap. Okay. I talk about this a lot too. Like, we were in a shade 3 and we weren't stunting it. We weren't autoing it. We weren't moving people. People were running fold on us. They're blocking out the shade on with the center, blocking out the 3 with the guard, wrapping up to the mic.
Yep.
And we weren't 4-2. We were 4-3. So we were double overhang.
Yeah.
The mic was boxing or spilling whatever term you want to use to if we were not moving the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I like the 4-I 0-4-I's, because you can pull tackle, or most guys pull tackle all the way to C gap. Make the OC prepare for you. That's the deal. That comes with a blessing and a curse. It's unique. 4-I 0-4-I is unique. It makes people break a few rules. And that's the funny thing. I love offensive guys who always draw a 4 down front because it's easy. There's angles to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You're getting 2 back. You're going to run insert zone to the shade 5. Right. ISO, insert zone, whatever it is, sniffer set. Right. This, I'm hoping to take away that insert zone against you. Because that guard center, they're going to combo the 0. Well, the 4-I's in that B gap. So that sniffer's got to go all the way around the C. And so for us, it's not typical shade 3 defense, obviously. It's unique. That OC is going through his call sheet going, okay, I don't like that call. I don't like that call. I don't like that call. And again, disclaimer. Look, we've been fortunate enough to give up 0, 7, 14. We've also been not fortunate enough to give up 42, 49, and have bad nights. And
I think we all understand that. Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes, Jimmy's and Joe's and all of that. We get that.
Right. But what you make the OC prepare for you in your front. Yeah. And then multiple coverage looks. You'd be surprised. I'm a secondary guy by trade. How much stuff you can do with what we call our jack, our boundary outside linebacker. How many different things we can do with him coverage wise. Cutting, drop him as the hole dropper, bringing. That jack can do our boundary outside linebacker can do a lot of things for you, and you can play a multitude of 2x2 and 3x1 coverages with that 8th dropper. And so, if you guys want to talk coverage, I want to do something else, later, get at me at Coach Gower on Twitter, and we can talk about that. So, okay, now let's go to Texas. Why do we like it in Texas? Okay, here's the thing. All right, we are a 5A Division II. Not long, 5A Division II school in Texas, and we're growing and blowing up the seams. And so, same thing. Besides 1 week out of the year, we'll see wing tee, but the rest of them, 10, 11, 20 empty. That's what we see. So 9 weeks out of 10, it's the same structure, right? And what we found was after years of running this, there's always that potential for 4-man rush. What backer is either, are they dropping 8? Are they rushing 4? Right? Is it going to be our nickel Sam, our Mike, our Will, or our Jack? Right? So now they're having to identify, talk about the OC, it's unique. Now how are we going to slide it? Are we going to fan it, right? Or are we going to full slide it and let the back pick up the fourth rusher? So there's always that potential that we can always say we're going to bring it fourth. It also adjusts to everything. The 4-I-0-4-I adjusts to everything. We adjust everything. I'll show you this in a little bit. Our one back set with our secondary, with our backers and our secondary. Okay, our D linemen don't know if it's 10, 11, 12, 20, 21. We call Okie, like I said, Okie tight. They know they're playing 4-I-0-4-I, period. Okay, they're not worried about canceling gaps. And we got stunts and we got movements and all that stuff. But if we call base Okie, they know they're playing 4-I-0-4-I, period. Okay, and we found that it can work, can play against, when I say anything, can play against 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, right? So you guys are listening to this. Well, Coach, what do you do against like slot T? And I'm going to say, well, that's a different ballgame.
Yeah, of course.
So another thing, not having to worry about the strength call. Not having to worry about setting the 3-5 to the back or to the field or to the passing strength. Okay, that's the deal. Like people who say, oh, well, we're always going to set the 3-5 at the back. Okay, what happens when they flopping? You're going to slide the front, you're going to blood the front, right? Here, move the back wherever you want. Pistol, to the strong, to the weak, to the right, to the left, to the field, to the boundary. You're in a 4-I-0-4-I. Your B gap, one of your A's, and your other B gaps close. Okay, and again, I talked about this one. You adjust the offensive formation with the back end. Okay, our boxes stay intact, right? We're adjusting everything with our safeties. And I coach our safeties, so those guys better know how to adjust with personnel groupings and formation stuff. So there's kind of the very base knowledge of why we're a 3-4-I's, okay, why we're a 3-4. I've got more. I go on and on. And again, guys, we run a format front. We get in a format front. I don't want y'all to think we're in this 100% of the time. But this is where we base and where we start.
Yeah, we talked about it in other conversations, how just and you could probably, not probably, you can speak more to this than I can, but just that it's much easier. You talked about how much you can do with that jack, how versatile of a player he is. It is much easier to go from a 3 to a 4 down than the other way around. With that, when you do have that guy that's a jack, it's much easier to walk him up and either put his hand on the ground or have him play as a defensive end from a 2-point, than trying to go the other way.
Yes. And that's where Georgia, Kirby Smart talks about this, about how they move from a 4 down to a 3 down or stem, and I think that's really crucial to implement too. Stemming from a 3 down to a 4 down.
Yeah.
Stemming from a 4 down to a 3 down. That jack looks like he's in a 3-point, and then all of a sudden he stands up.
Yeah.
And he talks, Kirby Smart talks about this, that's a negative play. That's a play they didn't have to play and get them behind the chains. So, our jack is, I say, versatile. We do a lot of stuff with our outside backers. And again, we can get into that later. But on the screen, basically the tight front, coaching the 4-I. They're my influences. I talked about that. I wouldn't be talking to Ty right now without these guys in my life. So I don't mean to harp on this, but I think, any clinic you do, if you don't talk about how you got there, who helped you get to where you are screwing up and missing the boat. All right. So here's kind of just the overall base, right? So here's how we look. And I know the template says 4-0-4. I know it's head up, right? But, and again, that's another thing. We'll talk about that, how we can, pinch to get to 4-I or 3 technique. We'll talk about that. But like our template here, you'll see that we're 5 versus 5 in the box, and we're 3 versus 2 to twins. We can't get any better mathematically. We can't get any better versus, covering down both the right and the left and being in the box. Okay? And I know you're saying, well, Coach, there's 6 gaps. There's C, B, A, B, C, and you've only got 5 in the box. True. That's another thing. We talked about who's the 4th man rush or who's going to become the 6th man, right? Who's going to become your 6th fitter in a 1-back, 2-by-2 situation, right? Okay, same thing in trips. Okay, or here's 2-by-2. So we can play different coverages, right? So we're playing palms theory like everybody else does in America. And then you're playing, out and up. You're playing out and up. So the box doesn't change, right? So the quarterback, the OC is going, looks the same. Then you're playing different coverages. or you're spinning cover 3, right? You're playing 403 deep, right? So you brought a fourth. So when it's trips, what we call solo, notice how our A and T, our two ends in our nose, they didn't move. Again, I talked about it. They heard Okie, 4I04I. They're playing 4I04I, right? Or we're playing head forwards and we're going to pinch to it. We're going to, inside slant to it, right? So, again, you see how we're playing 4/3 with a corner nickel, which is our Sam, strong safety and Mike, right? So in a very, very base scenario, there's your B gap player. Your nose is going to play one of the A's. Your will is going to play the other A. Your tackle or the other 4I is going to play the other B. Our Jack's the C gap player, and the Mike is the other C gap player. So there's your 6 defenders for 6 gaps, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's a way that we could align 2 trips. Another way is like, here's a clip of it of how we look. I know we'll get the D-line play, but basically the tight front, number 1, find a way to play 4/3. Number 2, find a way to cancel the inside gaps, right? Cancel the B's and the A's. And with trips, you're able to set a hard edge away from trips. You're able to set that jack at a 1x1 or a 2x2 or whatever. So from an end zone copy, okay, here's how we would look right here. All right, so there's kind of a good look at it. Right, the Mike, he's going to apex 3 in the tackle, puts him in the C gap. There's a 4I, nose, 4I, and here's our jack. We're actually going to pinch our other 4I away from the back right here to become a 3 technique to play the B gap. But you get the idea of how we're going to look to trips when we play solo. Okay, here's another one that we call noose. All right, noose, same way. This one's really, really good. All right, same idea. You're still 4/3. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the corner strong, free, and nickel. Okay, notice the box now. Now notice the box is really good. Now you're 7 versus 5, right? Or if you count gaps, you're 7 guys for 6 gaps. Okay, and you're again using that nickel as a +1 versus trips. Now the weakness is obviously on the backside. You're telling the corner, "Hey, good luck. Hope you can win." Right? But notice that the box didn't change from this look. We're playing solo, or what people call poach or load or whatever, versus what we call noose. All right, and that look is like this right here. This is when I was in Oklahoma right here. So notice the offense gave us trips, right? We're playing press up quarters. We're playing palms. We're playing 2 read off of 3 and 2. Okay, notice we're 1, 2, 3, 4 over trips. The corner on the backside to the single receiver, he's playing man everywhere he goes. And notice that we are, we're 7 in the box here versus 6 gaps.
Yeah.
So there's a really good look at. I'll show you the end zone copy. And again, guys, we're going to get the technique, but I think it's important that you understand the structure and identify why we do it. So again, 4I04I, we're 20 up with the backer with our Mike and Will. And notice there's no – go ahead.
When that single receiver is a dude, okay, and that's the guy, and you're worried about the matchup with the corner, will you stay high and just have that safety on his side, kind of where you can – where he could still read number 3, but also help if the single receiver is getting vertical now?
So I didn't put this up on here. Talking D-line play obviously, but I've got some clinics, some YouTubes and some Glazier webinar out there that talks about how we bracket this guy. And what we could do is into the boundary, we could do what we call walk, where we walk the jack out, right?
Yeah.
And the corner plays 6, 7, 8 yards off or whatever. Or you can play what we call lock. A lot of people call it special or whatever, where now we're going to play the nickel here. There's your Mike, your strong, and then your free is going to be over the top.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, that's what our version of lock, right? So, obviously the Mike would be apex and the will would be zeroed up. There's your jack and there's your corner. Again, I didn't put that on here. If you want to talk about that, you can get at me. So, anyway, but again, our D linemen, going back to talking D linemen, they don't know if it's what we call solo, noose, or lock. They heard Okie, they're playing Okie, right? So again, here's a look at noose. Okay, so tight copy, right? Our D linemen, they saw me signaling, again, Okie, 4-eye, 0-4-eye. The noose is a coverage, so we're 7 in the box because, again, the guy down here is going to OSU, the back's going to Tulsa, and their left tackle's going to Arkansas. It's one of those deals.
Yeah.
But okay, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, and I may be getting, saying or asking what you're about to go over now, but for guys who are watching this, I know they probably saw some just maybe some things in the stance and alignment with their D line, with your D line. So talk about that, like how you're what you're defining as a 4-eye and their stances and just kind of some basics of stuff like that for those guys.
Let me go back to this clip right quick. Okay, from the end zone copy. All right. Define a 4-eye, obviously. I mean, inside and the way we start. Okay, the way we start with our freshmen from day one is we're going to be our outside shoulder pad on his inside shoulder pad. Right. I know some guys play kind of thicker as a 4-eye. We don't. We play what we call pad to pad. Our outside pad is going to be on his inside pad. Talking about their offensive tackle, which puts our head definitely inside of him. Are we playing a true 3 technique? No. Can we? Yes. Okay. So that's where we start from an alignment standpoint with our 4-eyes. Okay. Different places I've been, we're in different stances. Okay. This year, this is 2016. I talked to Ty about this the other day. We started in a 4-point. Okay. Playing mirror read. All right. And so what we were doing is we were going to play. We were going to look at the gap, the B gap. I know some guys look at the hip, knee area of the guard, and we've done that too. Okay, we have done that. I don't say we've found every way to play a 4-eye, but we've found different ways to play a 4-eye. So we played a 4-point stance, reading the gap, okay, reading the B gap. Right, and what that did is obviously my inside eye was on the guard, and kind of my peripheral, my outside eye was kind of on the tackle. Right, so it wasn't like, hey, I'm looking at the gap, and that's just kind of how it is. I was kind of seeing both. I'm about the guard and the tackle. Right, and if that B gap expanded on me, meaning the guard was down, then that told me I was obviously getting down. Right, I was getting whether it was zone scoop or double or combo. Didn't matter. It looked the same to our 4-eye, and that told me to play the B gap, obviously. Okay, so here, if you watch this kid right here, you guys who are just listening to the audio, okay, we're in a 4-eye again. We're pad to pad. We're looking at the B gap in a 4-point stance. Okay, and this 4-eye notices that the guard goes down. Okay, he's doubling with the center on the nose. Okay, so what happens is, this kid steps with his inside foot, 45 directional step to the guard. Okay, and I'll talk about how, if you just bear with me here, how we kind of changed that up over the years too. So he knows that B gap gets big, right? So he's going to take what would be his outside hand and put it on the shoulder pad, kind of the breastplate shoulder pad area of the tackle. Well, what we started finding was that inside hand to the guard, it was on air. It had no power, had no punch to it, okay, because of how we were playing in a 4-point and how we were also stepping with our feet, okay. So you'll notice if you're watching the video here, okay, you'll notice that this kid has no power with his inside arm, right, because of how we were teaching, how we were playing, how we were trying to teach. Again, this was in 16, okay, 4-point stance, seeing the B gap. And my inside foot, my guard foot was going to step 45 directional step to the guard. Okay, and so we were stepping with the guard, but we call it dance with the tackle. Well, we were only dancing with one arm. Dancing with one hand is a power hand. The other hand might as well be tied behind his back. Yep. Okay, that's again if the guard was down or away from him.
Right.
Now you'll see that, hey, the DN, the 4-eye, he makes a play here because he's surfing the line, right? He's trying not, and again, we're not turning. It's not like a slant. Like, we're not turning our shoulders. It's not terrible by this kid, but it's also the way he's been taught. So as coaches, we went back and evaluated all winter long and obviously through the season of how do we get that second hand? How do we get that 1-2 punch on the tackle? Let me go over that here in a little bit. So Ty, stop me if you got any comments on
Oh
that.
yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at, and I know you're going to get to, what y'all figured out to make that more effective and get those, kind of those blind man hands out, like you got his feelers out there that your guy on your left, what y'all did to sort of fix that. And so I'll let you get to that here in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that.
Here's where we start. Here's where we start with our freshmen guys. Again, we play a 4-eye, and we teach it, the alignment of it. Our seniors and our freshmen, the exact same. We're outside pad to inside pad. Head definitely inside of the tackle. And the first thing we do is pinch, to where we're going to start in a 4-eye, and we're going to pinch to a 3 technique. Okay. And so, some of you guys are going to say, well, what about the stance? What about guys? Here's the deal about stance on a pinch stunt. Okay. I'm not worried about getting hands on. Okay. I'm trying to be a penetrate 3 and basically it's not bare, right? But I'm getting a double 3 techniques. Okay. I'm not saying the Mike's walked up. I'm saying you're getting to a bare front with the D lineman, with the 3-0-3 down. Okay. And so we're not worried about ball hand down, shade hand down, 4 points. Okay. We're worried about getting penetrate through the B gap. All right. So you'll notice this kid, what we're doing here is we're bringing a 4-man pressure. So if you're on the audio, I'm trying to give you the idea. So it's a 2-back set. Okay. It's a sniffer set. So it's 2-by-1. And we brought the field backer, our nickel Sam. Okay. So we're bringing a 4-man rush, and we're cutting our Mike, our backer right here, to become the outside backer. So what we do is we're bringing that outside stunt with our nickel or our jack, is we're going to step, okay, or pinch, all right? We're going to pinch our 4-eye into a B gap, into a 3. He's not feeling the tackle and all that other. We teach it when we call pinch that we're going to take the 4-eye and put him in the B gap and run penetrate. Okay, so if I go to tie copy, again, it starts, and now to the OC up in the box, okay, he's saying, hey, this just looks like what we call Okie, right? 4-eye, 0, 4-eye. And again, that's the beauty of it. I talked about that. Where's the 4th rusher coming from? Okay, so here it's coming from the most here, from the twin side. So again, it's 2-by-1, it's a sniffer set, right? So again, the end, the 4-eye to the Sam is now going to pinch, right?
And he's keeping his shoulders square the whole time. And are you worried about that? Like how, if he's turning his shoulders, I mean, it looks like he's keeping them square there. And
yes,
so like it's like he's making a surf, and then.
Yeah. So here from the end zone copy, again, if you're on the audio, I'm sorry. What he's trying to do is keep his shoulder square. Now, again, we're like penetrating. It's not slant, right? It's not fire zone. Like, we're not trying to cross face the guard here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're a B gap player when we call pinch. Okay. So this kid right here, and he's a good one. He's playing Division I football. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But he's trying to get in the back hip pocket of the guard. Obviously, the guard pulls here. They're running some kind of stretch looking scheme. Okay. So he's just going to stay in the backside hip of the guard, because that's where the B gap. The B gap extends to the consistency, right? I'm not trying to cross face anything. I want to stay in the B gap. Okay, same idea on this clip. So here's pinch. Let me go to the tight copy right quick. Talking about D-line play always works better from an end zone copy.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Okay.
I don't even know what wide view is. I never even checked that. Tight and end zone.
So here we go. This kid you're about to see, we transferred and converted him to a D-line because we had an injury early in the year. Had to move him from our jack to our 4 technique, and we, instead of trying to coach him to play, a true 4-eye and step and dance, we pinched him a lot. Okay, so you'll see this kid right here. Again, he is worried about playing the B gap and playing square. Now, he gets hands on the tackle. Again, it's okay. It's not what we want, because we're telling that kid, look, your job is to play the B gap, right? Don't worry about getting hands on. Your job is to see the hip of the guard. If it vacates or leaves you, you're going to replace it.
Would you rather him, like rip with that outside arm or
You would want him to take his tackle arm, obviously, and
yeah,
you want him to rip,
yeah,
like we've all taught since 7th grade, right? Nothing new there.
right.
Okay, and what it does, and you say, well, Coach, why do you run pinch? What it does, guys, and you can do it either to the back, you can do it away from the back, you can double pinch them, whatever it is. Okay, you're making the ball bounce, right? You're getting the ball on the edge because you're getting to 0s and 3s. Now, Coach, you got a short edge. Hey, you don't have a 5 technique. I get it, okay? But what we're also doing is we're talking about where's that 4th rusher coming from, right?
Right.
Okay, that 4th rusher coming away from the back, like in this scenario right here. There's your walked off 5 technique, right? If he gets ball in the belly, okay, he becomes your 5 technique, right? And right there, that's a good alignment for him. He's seeing the back, I get ball in the belly, boom, there's your 5 technique right there. Okay, here's another one. We talked about this. So now we brought the pressure. So again, it's 2 back, it's split back, it's 2-by-1 formation. Now we brought it to the open side. We brought it from the split receiver. Okay, again, we're going to bring the jack edge. So now you'll see this kid, he's going to pinch from a 4-eye to a 3 technique. Okay, now what this is actually double pinch. Okay, if you notice this kid, same one again that we've taught for, I don't know, it's about 2 or 3 weeks after we've taught him to play 4-eye or tried to play 4-eye. He's worried about ball get off and playing the B gap. I'll show you the end zone copy again.
And he probably gets upfield a little more what you'd like, but at least he's penetrating and.
Correct, and that's the deal. You talk about surfing. In a perfect utopian world, you'd love for him to spill this pool. Again, this proves my point. This team saw we were in a 4-eye, 0-4-eye. Instead of pulling the guard, they pulled the tackle, right? They blocked back the guard. Because at OC on Sunday went, I don't really like that. I don't really like running guard pull and trying to scoop the 4-eye with the tackle, right? So this has proved my point as to why I play a 4-eye, okay? So, again, you see number one. Again, I'm fine with the steps. I'm fine with his hand placement. Again, we're worried about penetrating the big gap. Not worried. If you'll notice, he doesn't even get hands on the tackle. He's not even trying. It's trying to be ripped through the tackle, right? Now you'd like him to play flatter, obviously, okay, and spill the pull. But notice he takes 2 for 1. He takes both tackles, the guy who's down blocking him and the guy who's pulling, and it makes the mic free. There's the mic for a no-yard gain.
Good little fit by number 6 right there.
Yeah, really good fit. And we're flow fitting off of it. We're stack track fallback. And, you want to talk about that, we DM me.
Is your nose playing your and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but is he playing your pop-out technique right here?
So he's playing, we call push, okay?
Yeah.
So we're playing push with this kid. We have 2 terms, two main terms we play with our nose. It's what we call lag, which is play the backdoor A, or we play push. This is where he's going to 1-2 the center, breastplate, both, engage the center. When I get doubled by the guard, I'm going to play in the front side A. He's going to push me into the front side A.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, he's going where they want to take him.
Correct.
And then obviously he doesn't want to get washed out there to lane 8, but then he's sticking that foot in the ground. I'm assuming at some point, but it's basically saying, okay, I'm going to let you take me to the other A gap. And is that a gap exchange with the mic behind him?
So it would be that's right. It would be a gap exchange with what would be our will. That's right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Here again, we're running pinch. Okay. So we're running we got a bead on how these people are running zone, and I'll show you from the end zone copy. So again, for you audio guys out there, it's 2-by-2. The back's to the field. We're in a 4-eye, 0-4-eye, and we're running double pinch. Okay. And what we were doing this night is we were pinching both the 4-eyes to 3s. The nose was slanting to the back. Okay. So he was going to play an A. Like we weren't playing lag or push or anything. We were slanting to the back in this scenario on this night. So you'll notice, the field. Yeah. Okay. So what we were doing, okay, is we were pinching both sides, right, to make the ball bounce. Okay. And we were also bringing a 4th man away from the back. All right. So here's our fourth man away or into the back. We're pinching in the B, play the backdoor A, or the A to the back, right, and pinching the B. Okay, is that everybody makes sense on that?
Yep.
And
yep.
the Mike in the situation is going to play the front door A.
Right.
Okay, so you see 34 right here. Again, all he's worried about, like I love his pad level. His pad level is great. I wish he'd take that right arm, that tackle arm, and rip through it, right?
Yeah.
Go waist to shoulder pad, go low to high.
Now, your tackle up top here on the left, so he's slanting into B, and it's a double, and he ends up going down into A. Are you're wanting him to stay in that B gap, right, and penetrate it and basically dent that front right there?
Correct. And this kid's one of those, you get him going one way, he's gonna keep going, and so don't want to take any of his physicalness.
We all have those.
Away.
Yeah, we all have those.
But here, now he got the he shot the guard to him. Now I just want to play like an old school 3 technique.
Yeah.
Right? I want to play V at the shoulder pad now into the guard.
Right.
Okay. Again, I talked about A, if you're watching this 33, our mic right here is going to play the A gap. Right? Because what was happening is they were throwing RPO off both sides, to the back and away from the back. And yes, this team could do it. So we had to mix up who the A gap, B gaps, and all those players were, right?
Yeah.
And then here, here's a scrimmage. We're scrimmaging Sherman right here, so this is the first scrimmage of the year. So we're learning. I just got here during the spring, summer, and so I'm new to them and they're new to me. But same kid that you just saw, here he is in the scrimmage. So we're watching this one right here. Same idea. Okay, it's pinch, and he's trying to lock on, he's trying to box the thing, right?
Yeah.
And again, guys, this is trying to show you the good and trying to show you the bad. Okay, and so love this kid, but this is not exactly what we want. We want that tackle arm, the offensive tackle arm, right, to rip through the hip all the way to the shoulder pad.
Yep.
But I'm not going to complain about a 1-yard loss on a run. You know what I'm saying? So, again, some of this is being picky, but us as coaches, that's kind of why we make our living, right? Because we're picky. Ty, we talked about this. Here they are in what we call spread. It's pro to one side, twin to the other, one back right, and we're still playing 4-eye, 0-4-eye. Okay, so what we're doing is we're playing 3/2 quarters with our corner strong and our nickel, our Sam. 4-eye, 0-4-eye. Our backers are in 20s. Our jack is what is now going to become what we call our hammer player. He's a 1x1 or 2x2 glorified 9 technique. Mm-hmm. He's a D gap, and our safety, our free safety, is a C gap player looking at the tight end. He's a C7. What we call C7. C gap 7 yards. Right. Yep. So there's your C. Your primary C gap player. What's the weakness? Well, you're one on. You can see on this film. Hey, you're a 1-on-1 with the corner, right? But again, we load the box right here. They run, kind of inside zone. It's now 2nd 11, and I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, read. All right, read. And I'm going to again, Ty and I talked about this the other night. I'm going to show you, again, different ways that we've done it. Sometimes I think guys in coaching that it depends on what staff or what coach you're around. This is how we do it. This is the one way we're going to do it. One way we're going to teach it. I don't think you can do that, to some things. Now, there are some things that are non-negotiable that we do, okay? But they're also, in my opinion, that we have some flexibility about how we play our stance or how we play our corners or, certain techniques that we do. So we're just playing a read step, okay? Again, let me go to the tight copy right here. Okay, so again, you audio people, it's 2 back. Okay, it's 2 back stimper set, so it's 2x1. We're playing 4-eye, 0-4-eye, right? And nothing's on. We're not bringing anybody in a 4-man stunt, nothing. All right, so we're playing 4-eye, 0-4-eye. And again, we're playing in a 4-point stance with all 3 down linemen. Okay, so all 3 down linemen are in 4-point. And from the end zone copy, you'll see, let's go to this copy. So you'll notice all three down line, 4-point stance. The 4 eyes are looking at that B gap, right? And that B gap expands, okay? And that knee leaves, that guard knee to hip leaves, okay? I'm going to play, and I'll show you how we're teaching this one, okay? I'm going to play push off with my inside foot, okay? We're picking it up and we're putting it down, right, with the inside foot or the guard foot, right? Here's a situation where this kid, he picks up his right or his inside foot, and he's going to gain ground with his tackle foot. That's the power step, right? And so what it does for us and why we kind of transformed, this was 17, 18. This was after we kind of played with it. The reason we're doing this now, okay, is we were able to get 1-2 hands on the guard. Right? On the guard, on tackle. Excuse me.
On tackle, right.
All right, now this kid over here, okay, he got down blocked by the tackle. Okay, so notice what he does. He power steps with his inside foot. So both these kids say, well, Coach, which way do you want? That's the deal. We teach it both ways. Okay, we are able to teach it both ways by saying we're going to do the power step with the tackle foot. We're also going to do the power step with the guard foot, right? Either way, that kid's going to end up in the B gap. But here was the concern, okay? You'll notice that this kid right here, notice what foot he steps with. He steps with the inside foot, the guard foot. Notice, what do you see?
Yeah, he's got his arms. He's got his inside arm out. Like he's got his feelers out.
He's got a power hand on the tackle, but his other hand, his guard hand, is on air. He has no power with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where the other one, and you'll notice that he kind of, and the reason he's playing Division I football, he power steps with his tackle foot, right? He picks up his inside foot, puts it down, and he power steps to get 1-2 breastplate shoulder pad with his hands. Now this kid, the ball get off, and he's not doing it how you want. But again, I'm not going to get mad at him for this, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Now I'm going to show you where you can read one side and you can pinch the other. Okay, off a game plan, right? So you've taught pinch, and then you've taught read. Okay, where you're not slanting, you're not stunting, you're just seeing the B gap between the guard and tackle, right?
Yep.
So here was a situation where we were going to we're going to pinch away from the back. So the 4-eye was going to become a 3 technique away from the back, and the 4-eye to the back was just going to play read, right? So this kid is going to play pinch. This kid to the back is going to play read. He's just going to play 4-eye regular technique, right? Yep. Why would you do that? Okay, the reason we're doing that, again, away from the back, we wanted that kid to be solidified in the B and make the ball go where on inside zone?
Yeah, make it bounce.
Make it bounce. Okay. Now, this kid, if you'll notice, scores 56-0. So this is our sophomores. Okay. Kid gets a little bit heavy in the guard, obviously. Okay, but he gets back out because he knows he's too heavy. You'll notice he becomes the 3 technique again, right?
Yep.
So again, this is a young pup. I'm not saying he doesn't know any better, but you're able to teach your sophomores, juniors, and seniors the same thing. He gets too heavy, but he overcompensates for it and knows he's too heavy, right? So what's happening? That back is saying, oh, no, I've got a 3 technique now in my face.
Yep.
And then what happens? The 4-eyes playing down the line to play the B gaps with the zone. Okay, now, if you'll notice the kid, you notice this kid right here who's playing the 4-eye technique, the regular read, what foot's he step with? He steps with the inside foot. Well, what's that do to his opposite hand?
Yeah, he's got it. It's on air.
He's got no power. It's on air. He's got that feeler on the guard, right?
Right.
So he's only got – so that tackle, their offense tackle has 2 hands blocking. We've got 1 on the shoulder pad.
Yep.
Right? And again, is he doing the job by getting the B gap? Yes, no question about it. He is in the B gap. Let's not get it wrong here. Is he doing what we want him to do from a schematic standpoint? Yes. Okay? But when you start playing, when you start stepping with the guard, the inside foot, okay, it's hard, and I'll show you that we had kids able to do this. It's hard to get that other hand, that inside hand, back to the shoulder pad of the tackle, right?
Right.
Okay, now here's another one I'll show you. Go to the end zone copy. All right, now this kid right here, again, he's playing a 4-eye regular read technique. Okay, notice again what foot he steps with. Okay, he steps with his inside foot. Well, what happens to him, unfortunately, and this is the playoffs. This team's pretty good. They're coached well. So this tackle's going to wash him because what happens? He gets turned and his shoulders are turned, right?
Yep.
Is he in the B gap? Yes, no question about it. Is it down blocked by the tackle? Yes. Is the ball spilling outside? Yes. Schematically, that's what we want. But if you're doing clinic tape and fundamental tape, right, not wonderful. Like, coaching, why are we doing this podcast? Because I want you guys to learn the lessons that we have. Okay? I think that's a side note. I think part of your podcast and clinics that you do, guys, I think you got to take the good and the bad and the bad and the good. So
yeah, no doubt. I mean, we're not just seeing polished clinic tape. We're seeing, obviously stuff that you know once you watch film, you pick up and say, okay, we got to clean that up, and this is one of them.
And so you again, he's in the B gap. Love it. He did his job. But notice he got no power. That kid's blocking him in the back.
Right.
Right? Because again, what happened? We're in a 4-point stance. Yeah. He plays the B gap, but that second step is crossover. He's got no power.
Yeah. Well, and like it ideally if he builds a fence there, then it helps you got your fit by your inside backer. He's where he's supposed to be, but the outside backer, who I'm assuming is that your star up there up top. I mean, he's a long way to go to help fit. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to if that tackle builds a fence, he doesn't have to come so far down in. If that makes sense.
Yes, and see, like this is 1st and 10. We get a stop for -1 on dart. I mean, it's on. Here we go again. Coaches, we're being picky about the fundamentals, right?
Right.
But schematic, if you're just talking schematic standpoint in a clinic, this is exactly how you draw it up, right? If you're getting down the dirt, the dirty, the down and dirty stuff and fundamentals, not really great by the 4-eye right here, right?
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, I showed you this one earlier. Okay, here the reason this is on here again. Okay, talking about zero play. So here's a situation where we play what we call lag. Lag is a fancy term that I've learned, that I've stolen, that I've taken, and it means that we're going to 1-2 the center. Okay, we're going to step right, left, or left, right. I don't care. We're going to engage the center. I'm going to feel the double. When the double comes to me from the guard, I'm going to, again, engage center and stay on him. He is not allowed to leave. He is not allowed to climb the second level. And I'm going to put my butt or my hip into the double at the guard.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we're watching the nose right here, right? So this is a term we call lag.
Yeah, great job by that guy. Feeling the pressure and fighting pressure with pressure. I mean,
it's really, really good by him. He's 5'10", goes 260.
Yeah.
And just one of those, I mean, that's him.
A good picture right there. I mean, that's it.
That's what you want, right? Yep. And our mic, we're kind of 3-stacking this night and 2-back. You're thinking, dang, that's a great angle. And their O-line, their offensive coordinator went, hey, we can block that back. And on paper on Sunday, I'm with you. But here's one of those deals on Friday that's not how it's supposed to work out for the offense. Watch them. They can't get the double back to the back door 50 because of how we're playing lag.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now, here's another situation. All right. So here's one where they're running, dart, like I talked about, the tackle wrap, right? And here's where our 4-eye actually spills the tackle. Okay. So again, here's this kid. Same thing that, again, we're learning from the bad, so I can show you in about 5 minutes the good, right? 4-eye and a 4-point stance. He uses his front foot or his guard foot to step, and that crosses over his second step, right?
Yep.
And where's his hand? Where's his arm? His opposite arm?
Yep. Flatten
He's got nothing.
Yeah.
But what does he do? Again, from a schematic standpoint, you want to talk about this?
He surfs and spills.
He surfs it and spills the pool.
Oh.
So again, from a schematic standpoint, it's wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, same idea. And I know lots of guys teach it this way. I'm trying to tell you the ways of oh, it's good. You're in the B gap, but here's what you better get ready for. So as we're watching this 4-eye right here, okay, notice what we're doing again. 4-point stance. What did he do? He's square, but where's that opposite hand, that guard hand?
Yeah. Yeah, no power.
Some of you guys who are listening to this and watching this, you're going to be saying, Coach, he's in the B gap. Get over it, dude. He got, he's doing what you want him to do. I agree. Okay. But I'm going to show you later how we started coaching up later in the year and how it became a lot better for us.
Well, and kind of like what you saw in that clip before, because now you start getting stuff where they can seal that guy off and maybe kick out with this H-back over here, and just they're going to be able to do some stuff with that, and just put left tackle's just going to put his hand on that 4-eye and just run him down in there.
Right.
If that stuff starts happening consistently.
Yep. Okay, here's a good look at it. All right, so this kid also, they're running jet or, stretch outside zone type of stuff, right? Okay, this kid does a really, really good job. This is what we call a steer drill, okay? He's going to steer the tackle, okay? Watch what he gets right here. He's going to get outside zone to him. Now watch him steering. Okay, notice he was trying to put his butt, right? So now the guard's at me. We've been watching a whole lot of guard down, right? So we've been watching guard down, guard away, guard pull. Now we're going to watch guard at me. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to read into the guard. Now, that guard's off the second level, but if you'll notice 20 right here, he's trying to stick his hip in there. Well, now what? The guard's off. Now what's it become? Steer drill.
Yeah.
Now, we're not asking the 4-eye to make a play on jet or, stretch, okay? Here's how you make a play on stretch or jet, by doing this with your nickel and your corner. This is how you make the play on stretch and jet.
Yeah, be physical.
Okay, now. Yeah, all right, here we go again. Now we're getting double. This is the state championship game against Tulsa Union in 2016. All right, so I've showed you the down, right? I'm going to get back to down of how we now went 1-2 on the tackle. Here's where I'm getting double. Okay, so don't forget what we talked about. Now I'm getting doubled by the guard tackle, double combo, right?
Yep.
Now I'm going to turn my butt into the double. I'm going to grab the tackle, right? Because, again, it's not down by the guard. It's not pull. It's double. It's combo. Okay, now I'm going to grab and pull and take 2 for 1. This right here is exactly what we want, because you'll notice, obviously, they're trying to combo to the backdoor linebacker, and you'll see if they can't get to him. This is Tulsa Union. So if they can't get to him, then we must be doing a pretty good job. Now, I throw it to that guy who's going to OSU. It makes a difference. Okay, but here we are. So notice the kid, he got double. Stay on the tackle. That's him right there. You'll see in another clip here in a little bit. He fights through the double.
Yeah.
Okay, now, here we go again. Now we're guard down again, right? Going guard down. So this kid, I'm going to show you this, and then I think the next clip is where we start figuring it out. What foot did he step with?
Yep.
Okay, he steps with his inside guard foot, right? But look where his hands are. Both hands are where?
Yeah, they're on the tackle.
Both hands are on tackle. I don't have that flipper, that guard. It's on air, feeling it, right? Okay. So now, what we started figuring out was, instead of 45 directional step, right? Okay, we were going to be straight up the field with that inside guard foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Because what was happening by the anatomy, and I'm not a science teacher by any means, but by the anatomy of your body, for whatever reason, that 45 step versus straight up the field step with your inside foot makes all the difference. And I learned that from a guy who I'll not divulge his identity, but what we started doing is that foot started going. It was almost like a 6-inch power step. Go straight up, go straight down. And now we went 1, 2. You see 99, both hands to the guard, tackle, makes play for 6-inch gain, right? Okay, same deal. So now we're gonna watch. Which kid is it right here that we're watching? Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna watch this kid right here first. Look where both hands are.
Yeah. And I think this was the team you said that they thought they could scoop you with the tackle. Is that right?
Yes.
They still kept trying to pull the guards. Yeah.
Yes. This was a team that we had. This was late in the year. We had like 8 ball games that broke down on them, and they did not once pull the tackle, not once. And so what we're doing here, notice again, we're playing 4-point stance. Okay. This kid right here, again, notice. No, I'll slow it down for you. Notice which foot goes first. That inside foot, right?
Yep.
Okay. But who's his hand on?
Yeah, they're on the tackle.
Right? Okay. Now, here's what else we started doing. We started heavying up the 4-eye. All right. We started heavying up the 4-eye just a little bit. Okay. Because when I talked about we were pad to pad, right? Now we went almost helmet to pad. So our kids played 4-eye practice all week long, all year long. Okay, we're getting better. Now we started, and the better you get, the wider or the more to the tackle you can get.
Right, exactly.
Right? And so by geometry or math or science or whatever word you want to use, okay, it just kind of synced up. So again, I showed you clips. And this is the same kid, 41, that you've been watching for 5 minutes. Same kid who's been doing this, again, not incorrect. He's been in the B gap. Coach, I'm in the B gap. Yes, you are. Great job. And then you coach him up on Saturday film work, right? But right there is exactly what you want. Okay, now the backdoor 4-eye, again, the guard was pulling. That B gap got expanded. What'd he do? He stepped, 6-inch power step. I'm sorry. He stand up. Go ahead, Ty.
I should say, yeah, he drives off his inside foot and steps with his tackle foot.
Yeah. He drives off the inside foot. His power foot, not power step, knows what I said here. His power foot is the inside. His power step is the tackle foot, his outside foot. And what's that do for him?
Yeah, he's got both hands on tackle. Right now, I mean, you freeze the film, he's got the tackle on his toes.
So I'm showing you that you can teach it both ways. Okay, here's when you know you're doing it right as well. Notice this kid. We're going to watch this one right here. All right. They try to run out, stretch. I mean, it's not zone. It's like stretch and everybody run to the sideline, right? Notice what our 4-eye did. Saw the guard down, and he's got both hands on who?
Tackle.
The tackle. And we gain him. We gain him all the way across to the opposite guard.
Would you want him at some point kind of ripping off right there, maybe, or?
Yes, and that's where man. And there comes a point in time, just the clock in your head's like, okay, it's time to rip off.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Obviously, we don't want him riding him all the way to the stands. It's just there comes a point where it's like, okay, it's time to rip off of him.
Right. Right there, rip off.
Rip off. Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Now get off of him.
Okay, we talked about. Here's another thing. Okay, go to the tighter copy. All right. So again, watching the same kid. The guard's going to be down, and now they're trying to cut it because what they've been trying to do, they've been trying to scoop it. Now they're cutting it, right? Taking helmet to the knee. He's got both hands on who?
Yeah, he's got both hands on the tackle.
Both hands on the tackle. So whether he's trying to scoop you or cut you, it plays the what? The exact same.
Talk about what you said when we talked previously, just about how you guys play with when you're getting cut a lot and your alignment and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was a good point. How you're cheating your guys up and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, so we're trying to crowd the ball. Like even the nose right here, that's the deal. I tell the nose, and hey, we've got it in an offsides or whatever penalty you want to call it, because he's been on the nose. Like he's been on the ball. I'm like, perfect. Back up for 3 plays and then get back on top of it.
Yeah.
And so we want to crowd the ball as much as possible for us. Okay. Right. Now, you talked about there comes a time, and that's where you guys see him, on sideline or in the box or whatever, that there's time to put him in a 3 technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you're going to run outside zone, how are you going to scoop that 3? You're going to cut that 3. You better be really good at doing that.
Right.
So, like, speaking of playing a 3, okay, if you'll notice, this tackle, they're running again outside zone. This tackle doesn't even care about the 4-eye. They're going to the mic. Okay, notice how we're doing this. So, again, the B gap expands, but notice how that kid becomes a what?
Yeah, he becomes a 5. I mean, I'm sorry, 3.
He becomes a 3. Yeah, it becomes the what we call the high wall player.
Yeah.
Right? Again, that tackle went like one hand on and he's off.
Yeah, he makes it cut back into your Mike who makes the play here. Good fit by that kid because he's tracking that inside hip.
Yeah, this is really this was again 16 year. Yeah, good fit. Okay, same opponent who Tyler, you and I talked about that they love pulling the guard, not the tackle. Okay, so all right, notice here we're talking about. See this kid right here? See how these 2 are in line, but what's the difference here?
Yeah, he's definitely crowding the ball.
Like I want that official on our sideline to go, Coach, you might want to back him up. I don't want to hear that. Like, oh yes, sir, absolutely. I'll tell him to back up. I'm not going to say a word to that kid.
Yeah.
If we get and that's the deal, And sometimes you're like, Coach, you like playing 1st and 5? Okay, it happens,
Right.
I want ball get off. I want initial reaction now. Okay. So here we go from this standpoint. All right, so they again pull
and that kid gets off the ball. I mean, that's the definition of it right there.
So here we go. They pull the guard. All right. Notice what foot he steps with. Not see, the way we define it is you got a power step, right? Okay, and then you've got like a step.
Yeah.
Right. So if you'll notice, this kid picks up his inside foot, but puts it where?
Puts it
right back down.
Yeah.
So what's his power move? What's his power step? It's actually right here, the tackle step. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And what's it do for him from the end zone copy?
Yeah, he's destroys the tackle and gets upfield and makes play.
Now, here's what else I'm going to tell you. Sometimes your kids will resort back to what they're comfortable with. Okay? If you want to play the tight, you want to play the 4 eyes, I'm telling you that you got off to it playing pinch, by playing different steps with the tackle or the 4 eyes, right? I'm not going to get too worked up about their steps or whatever as long as they're playing the B gap.
Yeah.
Right? So like here, you'll notice this kid, look what he resorts to. He steps with what foot? And I mean power steps with what foot?
Yeah, inside foot.
Inside foot, he's pushing off his tackle foot, right? Yep. Well, what's that do to his hand, to his arm?
Right.
His arm is out there in space to the guard, right?
That's right.
And you notice the difference between the 4 eyes. Okay, now this is a game plan deal, all right? So we're playing, kind of a shade. So we're playing 4-eye shade 5-2 back right here. All right. So what we're doing from the end zone copy is watching this kid right there. Okay. Now he got down blocked, right?
Yep.
He gets down blocked from the guard. And you'll notice that he kind of flippers that arm, right?
Yep.
But again, don't get mad at the kid when he does this.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole theme here is like you have a base, you have some ways to teach it, and then you don't overcoach,
Yes.
because you don't want those kids playing like robots. And I mean, there's some personality that's within the framework of what you're coaching, what you're teaching, that they're allowed to have.
Right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Here's a really good one. I want to show you this one. So again, state championship game, they figured out what they're comfortable with, right? Watch the 4-eye right here. What's he do?
Yeah, I mean, he's pushing off his inside foot, pick on the tackle.
And notice both hands are where?
Yeah, both hands are on the inside shoulder of that tackle.
And we got the ball where we wanted it.
Yeah.
Just sometimes that guy's really, really good. All right. So anyway, there's, and we talked about playing the cut block too, right?
Yeah.
So here's a situation we're playing the cut block with the guy to the sniffer up there, this 4-eye.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I've done it both ways, where you back them up off the ball and to kind of make them, shoot their wad a little bit. But yeah, I'm going back and forth, but I like watching that and just seeing it. It's like we had a coach on a couple weeks ago said, I'd rather that cut happen at their thigh pad rather than their knee pad. So.
Yep. Here's one. Okay. I know some of you guys will be thinking this is crazy. Notice we're in a 3-1 box. We're in a 4-eye 0. I say that. This was the night I told you, Ty, that those guys kept running.
Yeah. They're trying to.
Here we are playing 3 techniques.
Yeah.
We're playing 3 techniques, and that wheel's a 0 backwards. So we're playing 3-0-3 with a 0 backward to trips. It's trips plus the backs to the trips, right?
Yeah.
Why do we play 3-0-3? Here's why. They kept insisting on pulling the guard. So now, as a 3 technique, who is 43 engaging?
Yeah, he's engaging the guard.
And obviously, they're running, RPO and trying to throw off our mic here. Okay, so like there's Reed right there. Last one on Reed, and I'll go to lag. So there's Reed right there with that kid. Notice hands are where? Both on tackle.
Yep.
All right, lag. Hope you guys aren't getting bored. All right, what's lag? How do we classify lag? Let me back up. Lag is a fancy term. Again, if the guard comes to us, guard tackle comes to us, what we call lag, we're going to play into the double. Let me show you how we play into the double. All right. So again, I got double. I got combo. Guard tackle to me. All right. I'm going to grab the tackle, and then I'm going to play into the guard. So I'm going to throw my butt into the crotch really of the guard. All right. And I'll show you how this is done. So we're watching this kid right here. Notice that this is team camp in Oklahoma a year or 2 ago. Okay, that's how you play lag. He got double to him. Notice that he's going to his tackle foot in this situation is the one that's the power step, right?
Yep.
There's how you play lag. Pad level's too high, but he's got 2 for 1.
I was writing it down, and so I'll make sure I have it written down right. You said he's grabbing the tackle, and he's turning his hips into the guard.
Correct.
Now the way that you were teaching it, is there another way that you teach it where he throws his hips into the tackle? I'm trying to remember, since we've talked a few times.
Right here. It's right here.
Okay.
It's right here. So there's two ways you can teach it.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, that was team camp, so that was our base way of doing it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Here was a situation where this team was very, very, very heavy on the doubles. They wanted the second level to come to them, right?
Yeah.
So they were inside zone, more inside zone, okay? And this team, they were going to let the doubles come off to them. They were not worried about, I'm going to chip, go to the second level.
Yeah.
Right? So they were going to, combo. Here comes the second level. Now I can be off, right?
Yeah.
Well, through film study, we didn't want the guard to be off in a fast kind of way, right?
Yeah.
So now we taught it this week, right? I showed you the base way we taught it. This week, we wanted to turn into the guard. Grab the guard and turn into the tackle, right? Put my butt into the tackle because we didn't want the guard to go to the second level.
Yeah.
Like that right there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I like that, and that's why I was like, man, I know we talked about that. I just couldn't remember when we did. So yeah, okay.
So now the way you got to teach this though, this week we said we're going to step with the guard foot, the guard foot.
Right.
Period. End of discussion. And that's where we were like, well, we've been so pissed off because the guard's been down, and what's happened? That flipper arm has got no power, right?
Right.
Well, this week let's live with it, right?
Yeah.
And so we told both 4 eyes, you step with the guard, you step with the guard. Like if you'll notice, this kid, hold on, go into a copy. This kid knows what foot he steps with.
Yep.
He steps with the guard foot. What's the issue? What's that opposite arm doing?
Yeah.
It's got no power. The opposite arm is to the guard.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so again, the way we taught it this week is everybody step into the guard, period. And you're going to grab this guard and turn into,
it's a tackle. Turn into
tackle.
Yeah.
Okay, now, here's our base way of doing it. Okay, this kid right here. Here's how you climb through a double. Now, his pad level is way too high. This team, notice how fast they are. They're like, Chip, I'm going to the second level. Okay, this team's different, right? They weren't heavy on the double. Look how fast the guard's going to the second level.
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, which does allow for the tackle to climb through, our tackle, our 4i, our DN. See it?
Yep.
So what they're trying to do,
if you're
is figure out,
you love that. I mean, you don't have to deal with the double very long.
They're trying to figure out how they were going to block zone because technically we've got 3 for there too.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, I talked to you about this. It screws up how they want to do it, how they want to run inside zone. Because this guard again went 1, 2, boom, second level. The other team, they were like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I'll come off on.
Right.
So I think how you teach the 4i from a game plan standpoint is different too.
Yep.
Okay, here, watch this kid. Again, same deal. He's going to climb through the guard tackle.
Yeah, that's a good job right there.
See, like, again, this guard right here, 3 steps, and he's off to the second level, right? 1, 2, 3, off.
But I mean, that your 4i does a good job of swinging his hips in there so he can't just come off clean and he gets hung up in the trash there.
Correct.
So.
And again, you got the ball where you wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the end zone copy. And here's what happens to you guys. Here's where you know you're doing it right. I'm not going to try to joke you on this. This is the same team I told you that we wanted to turn into the guard, right?
Right.
Well, here's what happens when you know you're starting to teach it right. When they resort back to day one. Okay, because if you'll notice, like, well, coach, didn't you say you want to turn the guard against this night? We did. But here's where you know your kids have started to figure it out when they go back to how you taught them all spring and summer.
Yeah. This is the team you want him to turn against the tackle, and he turns into the guard. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Same.
He does it your base way.
And that's the deal. How can I be mad at it? Number one, he's in the B gap. Number two, he's going back to how we taught it from day one.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're going to say to him on Saturday, hey, this is a horrible job. No, you're just going to say, hey, do you remember how we taught it? Oh, yeah, coach, I got it. But that's where you know deep down in your gut, your kid knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the end zone copy, if you watch the other 4-eye right here. Okay, again, notice he picks up the inside foot, puts it down, and power steps with what foot?
Yeah, power steps with his inside foot.
Well, the inside foot, he picks it up, puts it down.
I'm sorry. That's yeah. Picks it up, puts it down, and he's stepping with his outside foot. Yeah.
And his hands are where?
Hands are on the tackle.
Yeah, here you go. I think this is the last clip. So if you watch this kid, same deal. State championship game, we're playing a 4-eye. Okay, watch him climb to the double.
Yeah, that's a good job.
So I'll go with it.
And I think, obviously when you're coaching defeating double teams, the thing you always say is you can't beat two men. You just got to focus on your post key and all that kind of thing. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. And that's why they're able to be successful is they got hands on, whether you're coaching them on guard or tackle, or whatever it is that week, they have their hands on that guy and they're turning their hips into their pressure key.
Correct. So, that's again, kind of my thought. Oh, here, I want to show you this one. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was the last one. No, so here's where it's trips nub, right? Trips, 3x1, but the one's a nub. Okay. So yeah, we're using the corner and the corner's a C-gap player. Okay. But here's what happens on a good fashion lag. So you're watching this kid right here. That's really, really good. So I'm getting stretched, getting outside zone. I want to stay there. See, and it's a hold. You'll see the flag come out. They're holding that kid. They're trying to scoop him with the guard, over zone with the guard. Well, there's the corner making the play. They're taking 2 for R1.
Yeah.
And right there.
It's a pretty good job by the corner coming in there and putting his teeth in there.
You'll see the flag come out. Right there's the flag.
Yeah.
So, why do I love Okie? Here's the last part. We talked about it. Okay. Personnel, for us, we want speed on the field. We want outside linebackers. Do we get in the 4-down front and 4-man personnel? Absolutely we do. Okay. We don't ask an inside linebacker to cover down number 2. We do in a 4-down, but it's not like an every down where we live in it and die in it. Okay. Can't determine where the bubble is. It's not a shade 3 side, right? Make the OC prepare for you multiple looks out of 3x1 stuff. So, there's lots of things, guys. You guys are on the podcast or listen to the audio or whatever. There's my contact at Coach Gower. Again, I'm the defense coordinator at Princeton, Texas. We're a 5A school. If you're familiar with DFW Metroplex, we're 5 minutes outside of McKinney, east of McKinney. Good place. We're growing. So I've been blessed to coach kid, being on this and talking to Ty. And again, I hope you got something out of this. I'll stop sharing. I hope you got something out of this. I've not played D-line. I've not coached D-line, but I've been around some good, Tyler K, been around him as a D-line, as a D-line coach, listen to him, listen to different people and talking with different people and then teaching me and coaching me how to play D-line.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's the deal though. If all of us D-line guys, we're the same way when we start talking about secondary play. I've never played a down at secondary, never coached it, but same thing, fortunately been around some great guys and been paired up with some coordinators who are secondary guys and been around some other great secondary coaches that to kind of help fill in the gaps and that I've learned from. So it's That's what you do. If that's not your background, you go and learn from those guys that you're fortunate to be with. And obviously, you've been with some. I was going to ask you this at the beginning though. But, were Gaylor and Cade, and there were some other guys. But like you had like that's a star-studded.
So in 2013, we were pretty good, but so was Union and Jinx. I mean, it was one of those years where we were all three good, and they just anyway. Steve Spavsall was our head coach.
Yeah.
Gaylor was our DC. Jay Wilkinson was our OC. Steve Dunn coached corners and our special teams coordinator. I coached safeties, and Tyler Kay was our D-line coach.
Yeah, that's a pretty legit coaching staff.
It was a legit coaching staff, and every day was a clinic. Every day was a chalk war. Every day, and getting film from this guy or clinic tape from that guy or going to meet with this guy. And we were pretty good, but so was Jinx.
Yeah.
So was Union. And that's the deal. In 6A Oklahoma, it's those four who rule not just the East Side but the state.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was fortunate enough to be there, and like I said, learn from great guys, and meet great guys, connect with great guys. And that's another thing. I don't want you to think that some of you may be walking away from here saying, "Okay, tell me your base way to teach a 4I." That's the thing. We do have a base way, but it's like you give your kid options. Just like playing corner. Is he a pedal guy? Is he a slide shuffle guy? Right?
Yeah.
And so I don't want anybody, you hardcore D-line coaches around here calling me saying that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But I also think you've got to give him a few options. Talking about the 4I of hand placement and stuff that we've learned from. Again, I don't get big on the clinic guys that every film is polished.
Yeah.
Right. I walked in a couple of years ago, walked into a guy talking about inside zone. Okay. He talked inside zone for 15 minutes and he was handed off to the guy going to Alabama. It's like, yeah, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I don't like showing every polished clip. And guys, my advice, my coach's kid advice, don't show polished clip. Show the problem, why it's a problem, how you fixed it, and how you apply it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we did a really, really good job of at North and even, what we're doing here.
Right.
So,
that's great stuff. Well, hey, I before we get you out of here, we're going to do a little rapid fire segment. I got the questions on my phone. I'm going to read them on my phone right now. But this is, I know you've called some big time games and stuff, but this is going to rival the pressure of those games. We saw you playing at OU Stadium in Tulsa and all that, and that's all cool and everything. But this is where this is the real nut cutting time right here. Okay, so you got to pick a word and no hedging. Okay, so I'll give you 2 words and you pick the one that you prefer. Okay, and I threw some DB stuff on here for you. And I know some of the answers, but I'm going to ask them anyway. Man or zone coverage?
Zone.
Would you rather play in the heat or the cold?
Heat, dude. Make it be 140 degrees outside.
I mean, you're in Oklahoma or now Texas. We're not going to play many cold games. So
no doubt.
Okay, as a coordinator, sideline or press box?
Sideline as a coordinator.
All right. Back pedal or shuffle?
I've taught both. I mean, really, they both got merit. So I'm sorry, I got to take option C.
I got you.
I've done both.
I'll let you hedge on that one. I know that's kind of a hot button issue I've learned with DB guys. All right, pregame routine for you right now: music or no music?
Music, but it's like easy list. I mean,
I got you. Okay.
It's like my Red Dirt roots.
Yeah, I got you. So nothing that. Like no Metallica or.
Not for me. I mean, not now. I will say I'm Native American, and so I'll listen to like some war drums, some powwow music right before pregame. Right.
Actually, Oklahoma. I mean, yeah, I got you.
But like if we're on the bus, it's like smooth, chilled out.
Okay. Calling in your defense, hand signals or armbands? What you got?
Hand signals the majority of the time. I've used a few times wristbands, but we're going to hand signal 90% of it.
Okay. Turf or grass?
Turf.
All right. I think you're like the first person who said turf, and I haven't understood why
Turf.
grass has been such a popular choice. Okay, you've been in Texas for almost a year now. Have you had a chance to go to Buc-ee's in Roy City? I think that's probably the closest one.
No, they've got one in Melissa now.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
And every time it costs me more than I want to spend.
Oh, yeah. You got to stop. So for those guys who don't understand what Buc-ee's is, it's the greatest thing in the world. And so this really isn't even a question. This is just an excuse to talk about Buc-ee's. Maybe if they want to send me some beaver nuggets or something for giving them some free public.
Dude, you need a sponsorship.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, I was going to say Buc-ee's or any other gas station, but I mean, come on.
No.
What do y'all have in Oklahoma? Like Love's or?
Love's a Quick Trip.
Yeah, Quick Trip. Yeah, Quick Trip. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're just skipping that one. Buc-ee's is awesome. Clean bathrooms.
Yep.
The stalls that go all the way to the floor.
Yes.
That's a nice little deal.
Yes.
All right. Here's the situation. 3rd and short. It's in the 4th quarter with the game on the line. Who are you most likely to yell at pre-snap? The front 7 or the secondary?
So it's secondary. Secondary, no question.
All right. I kind of figured you were a secondary guy. Okay, last one. This is from your GA days. You know, the old Gulf South, now the GAC conference has some really unique mascots, and you are at a school that has one of them. Give me that old Ready spirit, baby.
Yeah.
Better mascot in the used to be Gulf South, now the GAC, the Ready from Henderson State or the Boll Weevil from Arkansas Monticello?
See, here's the problem. The Reddies, it's tradition to not have a mascot. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes. So, like the guy that's with the, dresses up or whatever.
Yeah.
It's tradition to not have a mascot.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, I mean, Reddies through and through, obviously.
All right. Well, I didn't expect anything less from a Henderson State guy. Well,
yeah.
Todd, we have talked almost past the life of my laptop here. So, we better wrap this thing up so I can get it saved and it's not lost forever. But thank you so much for talking with me. And I know the guys that checked out that checked this out are going to be glad they did and got a lot from it. I know I did. So thank you so much for joining us.